50,000 people in this city.
Professor Ilian, who's also on the commission, says the radiation isn't high enough to evacuate.
Ilian isn't a physicist.
He's a medical doctor. If he says it's safe, it's safe.
Not if they stay here.
We're staying here.
Yes, we are. And we'll be dead in 5 years.
I think that right now the particles are in the air, but they're gonna fall down eventually, and that's gonna get worse.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, don't say sorry, you have a point. He didn't know. No one else knows, but that's what's gonna happen.
Silvina. Thank you. A nuclear plant in Sweden has detected radiation and identified it as a byproduct of our fuel. The Americans took satellite photos. The whole world knows. The wind has been blowing toward Germany, not letting children play outside.
Germany is not letting their kids outside. They're literally next to the plant. They don't give a fuck because they won't tell them. The entire world is reacting, not the place that's, you know... We're doing it. And I have chills, guys. It took them, what, did it say 36 hours?
26 hours.
It took them 36 hours.
It took for the entire world to know about what happened for them to react.
Yeah, because they were saying they were not reacting and they were lying about what was going on. They saw what the rest of the world was doing to protect themselves and they were not even close. So now if they don't do anything, what does that say about them? Can you imagine, like, one morning they just bring out buses and they tell you take the strict minimum and come, we're leaving the hell out.
Just gonna make one good thought though. Did they evacuate the entire city in less than 1 hour?
No. Less than
No, but it was really pretty quick for the evacuation.
It looks like they did it, like, they stayed calm and they did it fast. But
I'm gonna give good props to that though. A bit too late after 36 hours, but it was still fast. For me, you know.
The guards arrested this woman at the south checkpoint and have put her in a cell.
But he thought you should know that I know. I know that your reactor core is exposed. I know the graphite's on fire, the fuel is melting, and you're dropping sand and boron on it, which you probably thought was smart, but you've made a mistake. The temperature will eventually increase, it will melt down.
I'm perfectly aware. But I estimate at least a month before it melts through the lower concrete pad, which gives us time.
No, you don't have a month, you have approximately 2 days. Yes. It's going to burn through the biological shield here by Tuesday. And when it does, it's going to hit these tanks, bubbler pools, reservoirs.
Reservoirs for the ECS. I understand your concern. But I confirmed it with plant personnel. The tanks are nearly empty.
No, they were nearly empty. I'm guessing that every pipe in the building ruptured, and then there are those fire engines that I saw on the way in.
Fire hoses are still connected. The tanks are full.
I didn't quite get why having the tanks be full was bad. But I'm just gonna guess it's bad.
I have 10 minutes.
Nuclear fuel doesn't turn cold simply because it is not on fire. In fact, the temperature will likely rise as a result of the blanket of sand we dropped. The uranium will melt the sand, creating a kind of lava which will begin to melt down through the shield below. I believe there was time to reinforce this lower concrete pad before the lava reached the earth and contaminated the groundwater, but as it turned out, I was worried about the wrong thing. It was my understanding that these large water tanks under the reactor were essentially empty. We are now aware that the tanks are, in fact, full.
Of water? Yeah. Why is that a problem?
When the lava enters these tanks, it will instantly superheat and vaporize approximately 7,000 cubic meters of water, causing a significant thermal explosion.
Oh, shit.
How significant?
We estimate between 2 and 4 megatons. Everything within a 30-kilometer radius will be completely destroyed, including the 3 remaining reactors at Chernobyl. The release of radiation will be severe and will impact all of Soviet Ukraine, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarusia, as well as Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, and most of East Germany.
For much of the area, a nearly permanent disruption of the food and water supply. A steep increase in the rates of cancer and birth defects. I don't know how many deaths there will be, but many. For Belarusia and the Ukraine, impact means completely uninhabitable for a minimum of 100 years.
They can't let that explode.
And how long before this happens?
Less than
Approximately 48 to 72 hours. We can pump the water from the tanks. Unfortunately, the tanks are sealed shut by a sluice gate, and the gate can only be opened manually from within the duct system itself. So we need to find 3 plant workers who know the facility well enough to enter the basement here, find their way through all these ductways, get to the sluice gate valve here, and give us the access we need to pump out the tanks. The water in these ducts, the level of radioactive contamination.
They'll likely be dead in a week.
We're asking for your permission to kill 3 men.
All victories inevitably come at a cost.
You clearly won't be one of the 3.
No, he won't. I wouldn't be able to be in that position, though.
But divorce is what else can they do, you know? Can you imagine being in that room and having to talk about this? And the 3 people that will have to go, like, legally I would assume that you'd have to tell them, you know, what's gonna happen to them. They will have to go there knowing they will die in a week.
Yeah.
The valve will be difficult to operate, so we'll need 3 men. We'll need to know the basement layout. And of course, any volunteers will be rewarded. A yearly stipend of 400 rubles.
What's the fucking point?
And for those of you working in reactors 1 and 2, promotions.
Why are reactors 1 and 2 still operating at all? My friend was a security guard that night, and she's now dying. And we've all heard about the firemen. And now you want us to swim underneath a burning reactor.
They didn't even intend to tell them.
I don't have an exact number.
You don't need an exact number to know if it will kill us. But you can't even tell us that.
Yeah.
Why should we do this? For what, 400 rubles?
I thought they'd have the decency to say it.
You'll do it because nobody else can. And if you don't, millions will die. This is what has always set our people apart. 1,000 years of sacrifice in our veins. I spit on the people who did this. And I caused the price I have to pay. I'm making my peace with it. Now you make yours. Go into that water. Because it must be done.
On an ankle.
There's Pilot.
I was about to say, take that scene without the context, and basically nothing happened, you know, it's so minimal, yet it's so fucking... I don't even know why they gave them to these guys. It's not like they don't know how high it is.
That ending. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I saw in a comment that there is different type of horror, you know.
Oh yeah, I get what you meant.
Oh my goodness.
I get what you meant. Cause you know, when I you know got teary-eyed and stuff, I was thinking about, you see bravery in so many different forms in TV shows, in movies, in fiction, in literature and stuff.
Yeah.
It gives you a certain, you know, it gives you a feeling, but fiction showing you bravery is one thing. To watch this and to know. Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't even know why it's... Oh. It's episode 2, fuck!
Well, there's 3 left. But I know
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I know what you're trying to say. I had the exact same feeling when I watched World Trade Center. And I saw the firemen trying to... willingly going into the mess to save people. And... that place was dangerous and many of them died. I got the same feeling.
and it's not as high, like... This guy, I mean, what you're talking about, the guy took a chance, like, but in this case, they know.
They willingly volunteered to go empty the tank, knowing that they're will die by doing it. Because, like he said, that's the thing to do. And it must have been so hard to think about, because
fucking terrifying too.
You got your family. They're not even that.
I don't know if they had. I don't know if they had.
Look to be like in their 30s.
I know, like it's not the oldest, but maybe it's because of that they went. You know, we don't know. Some of them we don't know if they have families and stuff, and some probably do. And still, it's... How are we gonna watch 5 episodes of this? There is a bravery in people sometimes that very... I can't speak. I can't speak at all. I'm sorry. Okay, there's a bravery in people that we get to see sometimes that really it's beautiful, and it's hard. It's hard to see them go through this and to know, like, and at the same time, you know, I was saying at the beginning of the episode that humanity kind of puts me down, because no one wants to take the blame. No one wants to think that they messed up. No one wants to take the measures and the proper measures and stuff. Oh gosh, why am I so emotional? Woo!
Because,
okay, gotta keep it together.
Because it's
Talk
art.
a little bit.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And you said that they could have even told them point blank that was a suicide mission to go into the thing.
These guys have to send them there. You know, they have to tell them. And I think it's a proper respect to, at the very fucking least, look them in the eye and say, this is gonna have to happen, because unfortunately, if we don't do this, so many more people are gonna suffer. And as sad as it is, you know, it's the worst is done. The first episode was it's history. It's not like we can go back in time and change things. The worst is done. It happened. It's really hard to see people that are innocent, to see the people that have nothing to do with what happened, but they take the risk, like that woman who knows exactly what she's, you know, sending herself into, what she's doing, and she still went there because she knows it's her job. You know, she knows that she has to do something, or otherwise a lot more people are gonna suffer. And there's a heartbreaking beauty in how selfless some people can be versus how selfish others are, you know. And it's what saddens me the most, and I'm really sorry because I'm very emotional in this episode and I wasn't expecting that, but what saddens me the most is that it's true, you know. So many people don't fucking care. And because of these people, there's not much, I mean, there are a lot of them, but their number is, I think, is fewer than the number of selfless people that we've got. But because of how destructive these selfish people are, the selfless one have to suffer and go through terrible stuff. And we've got we've got true heroes in this, you know. And I actually really I really love that they did the show and that they did the story, because one thing I noticed in the comments is that a lot of people are surprised that we don't know as much as we should maybe about what happened, and that it's not taught in school. And it's not like it happened forever ago. Like, it's, some people still have family that did this.
The thing that I remember that my teacher told me about Chernobyl is that the nuclear reaction exploded. Many people got disease like cancer, malformation when they were born, and the radiation was so big
that we still see the trace.
More than 50 years later, we see these trace, and even the animals living around the area got transformed. I don't know if you saw photos, but there are wolves nearby, or like twice as big as there should be because of
mutations,
because of the mutation. But that's it.
They don't
teach us all the details, because I don't think that they know about it.
Like, for example, I had no fucking idea that it could have been a possibility. That second explosion that they're trying to stop. There is so many details that we don't know about. And the worst is, in those details, there are people that did stuff selflessly to save millions. They knew they were gonna die. Like, you know, that I can't remember their names. I'm very sorry, but the guy that was saying, you know, we'll be dead. Like, we're staying and we'll be dead in 5 years. And the other one, was like, what the fuck? Because he didn't know. Like, he had no idea. But the ones that know, they stay around to help, and they know what they're gonna face in the future. You know, it's gonna be terrible. It's not like, I mean, I don't know. I'd be putting a bullet through my brain after this. Especially, like, if I was one of the 3 that went in there. And it's not like they have a choice, but they do it because it's required of them. And it's incredible that we don't even know their names nowadays. You know, it's heroes, true heroes. And that's the beauty. Like I was saying, you know, humanity is terrible, but there's also a beauty in there, and we see it, and it's heartbreaking to see them go through that. And know also that because of how it happened, because of what was going on in the time, and how Russia was you know, handling things and stuff, most of the information, most of the details, it stayed quiet, and we don't know about it, and we don't know who these guys are. And without these guys, a lot more people would be dead today, you know? Like, fucking, that second explosion, they were talking about a lot of countries that are surrounding, you know, the place. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's a tragedy. It's a true tragedy, and they dealt with it in a very realistic way. You know, and I actually liked Titanic, the movie, which is, I mean, there's a side of me that respects how they end all the tragedy in this movie as well, you know? But most of the beauty of Titanic is fiction. Whereas in this, I can't tell, but it looks like everything is as realistic as possible. Like, the soundtrack is very minimal, although it's doing its job. The names are dropping, you know, they're not hiding. I don't think they're hiding anything, because it's time for the truth to come out, and I'm actually very glad that they did it, because we need to know about these people who face death for the sake of others. Despite what you said, like, they're young, we don't know if they had families.
Even if they didn't have family of their own, they still got parents,
and their
brothers, sisters,
and
friends.
You said it yourself, they're young, like, they have their entire lives ahead of them. And they're doing it because it's their job.
No one else was volunteering to do it, so they decided to do it instead.
And on the other hand, you have, I mean, we are sitting here, and it's easy for us to get angry at the people who don't react. And some of them really deserve it, because some of them were told several times by experts that the stuff that was going on was horrible and that it was dangerous, and they had to act now. And because they were too afraid to appear weak, too afraid to show that they failed, or maybe too proud to you know, listen to someone else, they didn't listen. And because of that, the reaction time was much longer than it could have been. The people that were in charge didn't seem to know anything about what they were dealing with.
They've been told that the core couldn't explode, and they just were done with that. You told me that it couldn't explode, that's okay for me. I don't need nothing else. And that's my reality. And the lengths that they would go to keep everyone calm, because like they said, and it's, I mean, it's stupid, but it's reality, unfortunately. But their strength is on, I don't remember how he said it, but their strength is only as high, you know, as how other people see it. You know, if people think they're weak, it doesn't matter if they have a strong army. It doesn't matter if they have money. It doesn't matter if they're strong, because in the eyes of the others, they're going to be weak. So public image is everything to them. So they're trying so hard to keep everyone calm, to keep the information close to them, because if anyone else know that they messed up, then the entire country falls, you know? Yeah, but...
the amount of consequences that's bringing...
It took for the world to know that a problem happened, and they were reacting to it for them to move. Yeah, I'm not against the fact that they want the population to stay calm, because if you panic during a crisis, that's gonna get worse. But they didn't do nothing at the beginning.
Let's admit it. The way the country was ruled, and the way they were handling things, the way the government was doing things back then, wasn't a good thing. It's not. I mean, it's not a surprise that they kind of changed things around later on, you know. It wasn't a thing they should be proud of. Society there was controlled by the government, controlled by military and stuff, and because of how they were doing things, when something happened, the tragedy, their system completely fell, you know? It fell. It showed its weaknesses. It showed how stupid it was to handle things this way, because now they are gonna appear weak. Like, now the entire world is you know, impacted by what happened there. Who's the fool, you know? It's almost like, you know, maybe what they were trying to do was see it as a small problem that they could smother before anyone else learned, and they could still keep their image.
Yeah.
but it was too big. So now they're kind of forced to react, because now the world is looking and the world is expecting them to do something. Like you were saying, that they're apologizing to their enemies, their friends, to everyone, because what happened in their home is impacting everyone.
Yeah.
And if they don't handle the situation, it's going to be even worse than it is right now. So that's why they have to send people in there. That's why they have to stick around and do something, even though they know that the longer they stay, the worse they'll be affected. And it's sad because, I mean, it's sad because I think the worst has already happened already. You know, the innocents that were there, even the ones that are going to survive or not, I mean, they're going to be affected in the long run. Even if they don't show symptoms, there's a chance that their kids are going to show symptoms. There's a chance that, you know, illnesses and stuff, it will happen, maybe not now, but in the long run. And even if that wasn't a factor, they lost their home. That was also the part that got me teary-eyed. That's, you see thousands of people that are innocent, that have nothing to do with this plant. The only mistake they made was living close by. And some of them are not even close. They're still going to be affected because now they're being thrown away. They're going to lose everything. It's like, we live in an apartment here in Montreal. If someone came and told us that we had to evacuate with the strict minimum and stuff, like, we wouldn't be able to take everything. We'd lose so much of our memoralias. We would lose most of our things. I don't even know if we'd be able to bring the cats, you know? We wouldn't be able to go on like nothing happened. So our lives would change. And that's taking away all the illnesses that are gonna, you know, appear in these people's lives and families. So the worst has already happened. And to see them struggle to handle the fallout, at this point, like, we have to accept that discussions about who do we send in to die only because we need someone to turn a knob, you know? It's stuff that they have to do, and there's a huge part of me that's really, really glad that I don't have to be there in their place and make these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But I really respect all these people that showed up, put their lives on the line so others could live. It's courage. It's beautiful bravery. It's humanity as it should be. And unfortunately, we don't put that on a pedestal enough.
You really got reeled up, right?
Oh, I will. Every episode. First episode got me so mad. This episode got me really emotional. I know I don't understand where this came from, because I can understand being touched by this. I wasn't expecting to just fall out like that and cry.
Mm-hmm.
But same as the first episode, I'm struggling to find like the right words. I'm really struggling to keep talking.
I'm just letting you talk, girl. Seriously.
I'm sorry. And this is episode 2.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying, like, oh, there, you know, you guys were commenting on this. I was saying it's only 5 episodes. It's going to be easy. What I meant was it was going to be easy to, you know, to record without impacting our schedule. But on an emotional level, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
No.
And this episode went by really fast, by the way. I didn't even realize. Ugh. Do you have something else to say?
No, you said it all.
I cried it all.
You cried for 2?
I tried. No, I
cried for 2, that's okay.
It could have been worse, guys. I'm pretty sure it's going to be worse later
I'm pretty sure
on.
I'm going to cry for the end of it, so... Yeah.
Yeah. When the consequences actually start showing, you know.
I'm really glad that the physicist, that I don't remember the name, the woman.
Yeah.
She decided to go to Chernobyl to help as much as she could, because if she didn't went, that thing would have exploded.
Yeah.
And it would have been way worse than what we had right now. And
it's not over.
It's
like that last scene.
It's already pretty bad what happened and what went after, but imagine if that thing exploded, the 2 other reactors, if they'd explode afterwards.
Yeah. That last scene was so terrifying. all in black, and I still like. Maybe it's for the TV factor. I still wonder why they gave him a meter.
Maybe to have them know where they should go, because they need to follow, but they
did they, like, was it really to help them? Because they had to basically go follow the maps and stuff, because they knew where they were going. So following the radiation wasn't a thing, I think. But
maybe to help them, if possible, find a way that is the least contaminated. If possible, I don't know why they gave them those meters.
But in the end, like, it was a straight noise, you know. That sound. Okay, we move on, because I need a breather.
Yeah, we move on.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon, or it will be very soon. Check it out. The link is in the description. Yeah,
so don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch it now or soon enough. And if not, wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, guys, which will be next week.
Yes.
So see you then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.